Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Hi there. Hi everyone. I don't know if you can hear me right now. Let me know if you can hear me. I think awesome. Thank you so much. Uh, Tinicha, welcome to the stream. Welcome, Dreaming Good Ball. This is one name. Hello everyone. Welcome today. Today we're going to learn how to use Python for security. Hi Jamili. Hi Raj. Hi Khan. Hi Skull. Hi everyone. So today we're going to learn some awesome and cool things about Python. Say hi to Rick Astley, who's um, being our companion today. So hi guys. Uh, yeah. So everyone's getting Rick roll today. So say hi again to Rick Astley. So yeah, if you like Python or if you never have used Python, today we're going to learn how to use Python. We're going to learn some Python basics, and also I'm going to share with you some cool things. If you're a student, we're going to just take 5 minutes to learn about a cool thing called the Student Developer Pack. This is a cool student developer pack that you have all the students of any kind of university, bootcamp, or things like that can have with your GitHub account. So what do you think if we start with that? So let me just share my screen so you can see it. So I think now everyone can see what I'm talking about. So welcome to the GitHub Student Developer Pack. Before talking about Python, Pythonic encryptions, how to manipulate strings, how to handle files in Python, and all the stuff, first we're going to search, look at the GitHub Student Developer Pack. So, like I said, the GitHub Student Developer Pack is a cool thing that all the students have. No matter if you're a student in university, in a bootcamp, or anything like that, if your school applies into your GitHub student application, uh, that should be all for it. You just need to ensure you're a student in some kind of institution that all has applied to the student developer pack. If your institution doesn't apply to it or anything like that, you can contact one of your campus experts of GitHub. If you don't have a campus expert around you, don't worry about it. You can just send a message to me into the Discord so I can help you to obtain your GitHub student developer pack. So yeah, let's start with this. So the GitHub Student Developer Pack, like I said, is a cool pack or like a digital backpack that you have that's full with a lot of cool things. Like if you like using the cloud, if you need to create a web page and you need to have a domain like I don't know, maybe coolcats.com or something like that, you have cool domains that are free, like Namecheap or names.com or things like that. But if you want to have a Minecraft server or if you want to create some awesome apps in the cloud, you can use DigitalOcean, Microsoft Azure. I don't know if you don't like to use Visual Studio Code, or if you need an IDE to code into your favorite language or programming language, you can have all the IDEs of JetBrains that are real cool. If you're preparing for your technical interview, you have educated.io. You have Heroku points. Also, if you want to create an API, if you want to create your portfolio or anything like that, you can use Bootstrap Studio. Bootstrap Studio is like a drag drop tool that you can use to build awesome web pages. One password if you don't want to, if you want a platform for have all your passwords of all your pages or all your accounts. One password is a good alternative if you're not using Google Chrome or anything like that. DataCamp is also a great institution that helps you to learn anything that you need to become a data engineer, a data scientist, or things like that. So like you're seeing, there's a lot of cool things that you can use into your student developer pack. You have Replit if you want to code in the cloud on your web browser or anything like that. There's tons and tons of benefits that you have just for being a student. So, like I said, you just need to be a student in an institution. So, please go for it. Apply to becoming a student into GitHub. You just need your GitHub account. Uh, Sign up for becoming a student. You go to get your student benefits. Start with your benefits being a student. You just need to qualify. Be currently enrolled into a degree, diploma, or bootcamp or anything like that that applies. Also, you need to be at least 13 years old, have a GitHub student account, and have a verifiable school usage email. I think this is not really necessary, but if you have it, it is cool. Sometimes they ask you for like a student ID or anything like that that can help the GitHub student team to verify that you're a student. So yeah, I totally encourage you to apply to the GitHub Student Developer Pack. It is great. It is for everyone. If you want to become a data scientist, a front-end engineer, a back-end engineer, a full-stack engineer, anything like that. If you want to create a hackathon online, you have all the tools here. So please apply to the Student Developer Pack. So after this brief introduction to all of this, yeah, the link. Let me just share the link with you. You can just Google GitHub Student Developer Pack, or you can go into the link that I just shared with you into the MLH account in the I don't know if you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter or anything like that, but you can use it, just enter into the link that I just sent you. So now with this brief introduction to the GitHub Developer Pack, let's start and learn how to use Python for cool things. Okay, so let me share my screen again, and I'm just going to share my screen. I didn't prepare a lot of things, so I just prepare a quick presentation for this. So it is called Pythonic encryption, a string static journey through the hashing of file handling. So I want to know if you ever use Python. If not, don't worry about it. This is a very familiar um, stream, so don't worry about it. And yeah, now I think you're seeing the slides. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so I'm just reading the comments. So how to access it? So if you're talking about the student developer pack, you just need your student account into. You just need like your email. Also, if you have an college email or anything like that, like an educated email, like from your school, your college, or anything like that, you can use it no matter if you're in high school or if you're in college or anything like that. You can use it. So also, I think if you don't have it, it is don't worry about it. You just need like your student ID or anything like can verify. I don't know, like your qualifications or anything like that that can ensure the student develop the student team of GitHub that you're a student. Okay. So yeah, I also love the Rick Astley and all the memes reference. I shared already the link. So yeah, the student developer pack is really cool. You can use it anywhere. Anyone can use it. And like I said, it has a lot of things. I think it's worth like $3,000 in all the things that you have. So yeah, just give it a try. It is real cool. And even if you're preparing for your next job, your technical interview or anything like that, it can help you out. Even if you want to start, I don't know, a new app or a startup or anything like that, I think they even have Stripe, so you can make payments to build payments into your web page and things like that. So yeah, just give it a try. Um, and yeah, let's start with this. The slides are called Pythonic encryption, a string static journey through hashing and file handling. Like I said, don't worry about it. This is real friendly. We're just going to see some cool things about Python fundamentals, string manipulation, handling files in Python, introduction to hashing, encryption, and how to hash information in Python. So don't worry about it. Let's start with this. The first thing is Python. If you have ever used Python, cool. But if not, don't worry about it. Python is a high-level interpreted programming language that has gained popularity due to its simplicity and versatility. Its syntax is easy to read and write, making it an excellent choice for beginners um, uh, um, and professionals alike. So Python features dynamic typing, garbage collection, and all the stuff that makes it real cool. Its syntax is really easy to use. Don't worry about it. It's like you're talking to other person, even like that. If you know what a pseudocode is, it's basically almost pseudocode. You don't need to put like random syntax or something like that. Maybe if you have used C++ or Java or anything like that, it seems like it's really, really easy to understand. So don't worry about it. We're going to see it. So what do you think if we go into another cool thing about GitHub that is called GitHub Code Spaces? So I don't know if you've ever been into this situation where you don't have like a really powerful computer or laptop or anything like that. So you don't need to worry about this. We're going to code everything today into the cloud. So if you're asking how we're going to do that, don't worry about it. The first thing that I need you to do is to go to your GitHub account. So you can first go to GitHub, github.com, and start create your account if you don't have it. If you already have it, cool. So the first thing that I need you to do is to go to your github.com page and then go into your dashboard. After going to your dashboard, go and click your profile picture and go to, I'm sorry, like at the left of your profile picture, you can click it and create new repository. Click on create new repository, and we're going to like choose the name you want to. So don't select any kind of template. Just select the owner of your repository, and let's for this is going to be Global Hack Week security. And after that, just give a brief description. So let's learn how to use Python for security. Awesome. So we already have you done anything. So just make it public or private, however you want, and add a README. So and after adding a README, you create a select the option create repository, and ta-da! We already have our repository created. And now the cool thing begins. Like I said, you don't need to use your computer for coding today. You don't need anything like that. We're just going to use the new feature of GitHub called GitHub Code Spaces. All the students and I think all the users have a GitHub Code Space. But the cool thing about this is that if you claim your student developer pack, you have access to unlimited time into your GitHub Code Spaces. So like I said, a code space is just like a VM. It's like a virtual machine that you have into your computer or like into your GitHub account. So don't worry about that. So we're going to select code spaces. We're going to click into the green button that says code. Then we're going to go to code spaces. And after going to code spaces, we're just going to click in the other green button that says create code space on main. So after we click it, now we're going to wait. Magic is being done in the background, so don't worry about it. You don't need to make an extra step for this. And ta-da! Cool ID like Visual Studio Code appears into your browser. So yeah. Oh, I think you're not seeing this. Now you're seeing it. So ta-da! You have your cool Visual Studio Code thing or Visual Studio Code IDE appearing into your browser. So if anyone is already here, good to you. So like you're seeing, you have even a welcome message, welcome to GitHub Code Spaces. This is like your own space for coding, for creating anything. If you want to create a web page, you can make it here in your browser. You're not going to use any kind of resources into your computer. Like I said, everything is being used from the cloud. So this is really cool. You're not going to use, oh my God, you're not saying anything. Now you're saying it, I think. Sorry. Oh my God. Sorry for that. So sorry for that. So quick, again. Let's do it again. First, go to the github.com page. After going to your github.com page, go to the left of your profile picture and go to new repository. After going to new repository, you're just going to create a new, I'm sorry, you're not seeing this again. Oh, let me share my screen again. This is a thing that I always hate about StreamYard, that you're sharing your screen, but the screen is not added to the StreamYard. So yeah. Yeah. Now, I think now you can see anything. So let's start from zero again. Go to your GitHub account, go to github.com, create your account. After creating your account, you're going to see this dashboard. After seeing this dashboard, you just need to click into the plus icon that is at the left of your profile picture. Go to new repository, and after going to new repository, you just need to give it a name, choose an owner, and let's call it like security week. So we're learning how to use Python for security. Awesome. Make it public, add a README, and after adding a README file, you just need to create the repository. So after this, you're going to see that some magic thing just showed into your computer. So yeah, now our repository has been created. After our repository has been created, we just need to go into make a click into the code button, and maybe your computer, well, like your account is going to be selected in local, so just change and select the code spaces option. And after selecting that option, just create a code space on main. Select the option, create a code space on main, that is a green button. And now some magic is being done in the background. I think you can see, yeah, so now the magic has been done. So you're seeing now magic is happening. So you don't need to worry about anything. A cool IDE has been created into your computer. It looks a lot like Visual Studio Code. It basically is like using Visual Studio Code. So it is really cool. You're not going to use any kind of resources from your computer. Everything is being processed into the cloud. So the cool thing about this is that you can use it unlimited time if you have a student developer pack account. Um, if not, I think you have even like 80 hours until your code space deletes it. But the cool thing about this is that all the changes you do into this code space can be passed to your GitHub repository. So basically, you're working in the cloud. You're not using any kind of resources on your computer. Everything is being done by the GitHub side. So yeah, it is really cool. It even has a welcome message. Welcome to GitHub Code Spaces. So yeah, we are already done. So the cool thing about this also is that you have even Python, you have JavaScript, almost anything is installed into the code space. All the package managers, a lot of packages like I don't know, like NumPy and things like that are already installed in this. So it is really cool. You can even I don't know. Let's just try to install NumPy or anything like that. And for that, I will in my computer I will need to install first Python, and after that, update it NumPy. I mean pip and all the stuff. So in this case, we don't need to do anything. We can just install NumPy like that, like pip install NumPy. And I think with that, everything. Yeah. So see, yeah. So as you see, the requirement is already satisfied. Like NumPy is already installed. Like you have a lot of packages already installed, so you don't need to worry about this. So yeah. So if you want to create a gitignore file, if you want to create anything, you can do it. If you want to modify your README, you can do it. Like you can do a lot of stuff. And if you have like a lot of extensions, if you don't want to, I don't know, if you don't like how your Visual Studio looks or anything like that, you can just change the background. You can select like whatever you want to do. Like you can configure like your space however you want. So what about if we do something like this? I mean, I like it, but I don't know if you can see it. So let me just make a little bit more of zoom. Let me know if this is enough for you or if you want me to zoom it a little bit more. But like I said, this is like using Visual Studio Code, so you can add all the extensions that you have. If you want to install Prettier, you can install it. If you want to install like I don't know, maybe a Dodge extension or anything like that, like I don't know if this is going to work. But yeah, if you like this kind of extensions, you can use them. So yeah, I encourage you to use it. So you can use them however you want. So if you are already here, good for you. Now let's see how we can use Python. So uh, the first thing that we need to do to create a Python file is to create a new file that is called, I don't know, main.py. And now we're on. So now we can run anything here like, I don't know, like the first thing that you want to use is like hello world. And with this, I think that should be it for running um, your Python code. You just need to go into your code space and create a command called Python and the name uh, of your file, like Python main.py. And as you see, we are now seeing hello world. So yeah, so yeah, that is the thing. I think if you want, we can see the basics. So let me know if you want to see the basics of Python, like from the beginning or anything like that. But if not, we can continue and just see like fundamentals about Python, like some important functions, like how to manipulate the strings, how to open a TXT file or things like that, you know? So we can continue with that. So if you have any kind of doubts, also you can ask anything that you want. So let me just read the comments. Now, if you want to, you can select that git ignore if you don't want to. Don't worry about it. Basically, a git ignore is just a file that ignores some certain folders or files. Like I don't know, if you have like a file like usually when you have something like when you use Node or npm or anything like that, you will have a file that is called packages or things like that, but it is going to be updating frequently, and you will have like 10,000 files and things like that, and like uploading to your repository would not be that way. Or no, I think it's not called packages, called something like node slips. Well, basically are your libraries, you know what I mean. So yeah, you want to maybe not want to add that into your git commit, so you will want to ignore it. Here in Python, we have something that is called environment. So to create a new environment, I think you will need something that is called PyEnvironment or virtual env. So you can just install it like pip install, like make pip install virtual env and pip install virtual env. And with that, you can create now a new environment. So for creating a new environment, and you can, to be honest, I totally forget about it. So let's just ask ChatGPT how you can create a new Python environment. So let's just ask it to, how can you create a new virtual env with Python? So, so yeah, let's just copy and paste this. And Python, and let's just call it instead virtual env. So yeah, allow this. So as you can see, we have already created our env. So why would we want to create a virtual environment? We want to do it because if we, I mean, it is a good practice if you want to. You don't need to, but it is a good practice. You can use it if you're working with your friends or if you're working with your teammates or in the work, I don't know. Um, you can use it because it makes it a little bit easier to work with versions about packages or things like that. If your friend has NumPy version 5 and you have the version 10, it allows you to create an environment for just you and maybe try um, to not mess with all the versions and make it a little bit a mess with all the stuff, you know. So for accessing your virtual environment, I think you just need to follow up the next command, source. I think it is what it was like. Uh, yeah, source my amp bin and activate. And ta-da! Now everything is done, so you can install all the packages you want to. And so yeah, why don't we go here and first start seeing string manipulation? So the first thing that we want to learn is like how to manipulate the strings in Python. So let's ask again our little friend ChatGPT how to use Python for manipulate strings. So let's see how to use which functions in Python help me to manipulate strings. Oh, I forget to add the strings. So yeah, start with this. So line string returns you the length of the string. So it basically, if you give like a hello, it will return a 5. To lower, if you bring like here strings that have, I don't know, like David or in uppercase, it will make it will return like David, but everything in lowercase. And the same thing about here, if you give David in lowercase, it will return to you David in uppercase. Um, script is going to return to you like all the functions, like all this, the characters without the white space and all the stuff. The split is going to separate. It's going to return to you an array or a list with all the words or all the characters that are going to be split up in any case where a separator appears. So let's see it here. I think this is one of the coolest functions in Python. So maybe let's just start creating a variable called string. Like if string is going to be equal to my name is David, and we can use I don't know string data split and just add like the white space here, and let's just print this. And I think this should be it. Python main.py. And yeah, like you are seeing, we now have a list of all the characters that appears or like all the characters separated whenever the white space appears. But if this was not like white space, this could be any kind of character you want. So maybe if you put this, it would work like the same. And yeah, again, maybe if I don't put this, it will change. Yeah, like you're seeing now, we just have my name is David, but it is not the same like the list before. Now we have just 3 elements. All right. So again, if you have any questions, you can ask it anytime. I will read you whenever I see the comments. So also you can have some functions like starts with or ends with. If you have a prefix or suffix that helps you to understand or like help IT to understand if you are searching for a prefix like, I don't know, David, in the case of my name David, you can, I don't know, put like DA, and if it appears into the string, it will be okay. If not, it will return false. and if you put into the function end sweep, I don't know, like D for my name, David, if the word ends with D, it will return true, but if not, it will return false. So another cool function is the join function. Uh, Basically, we've seen the split function that returns to you uh, strings that separates from any character that appears from a separator that appears anytime. So the join concatenates all the elements of an iterable. For example, I don't know, if you have a list, it will return to you a string that has all the elements from a list. For example, I don't know, maybe name is going to be equal to Ash, David, Elena, Karen, and if we let's see what the um, name that split returns to us. So let's just oh yeah, my bad. Join considers the element of the triple example, a list with the string as a separator. Oh yeah, I forgot to add the split. The size of blah, blah, blah. Should this? I think this just only works with strings. Concatenate the elements of the iterable example, a list with the string separator. So let's ask Java to see how this works. So could you explain a little bit more detail how does the join function work? Can you add an example? So the separator, blah, 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 separator that join my list, so the output will be apple, banana, blah, blah, so separator, oh, I see. Okay, so what if we use, instead of this, like a separator that is going to be equal to a backslash, and instead of doing this, use separator that split and names. So let's see what does this does. Most the string are known, not a list. So okay, so I'm saying that my list is a list. The separator is this, so the result will be the separator that join my list. So in this case, okay, so let me see what I'm doing wrong here. So the print separator that explains the names. We're using the separator. So the result is going to be, so what does the error, let me see what does the error says. So also let me just delete this. And let's see. So my name is David, trace like most recent call file workspaces. So the print separator must be a string type error, must be a string or null, not a list. So this so the result is equal to separator that join. Yeah, I'm using the split instead of join. Yeah, sorry for that. Okay. Yeah, so now we're joining all the elements with this. And I think, I don't know if this works also with something like a dictionary. So let me see if it is working with a dictionary. Yeah, so yeah. I was trying to use the join function, but I totally forgot to do it that way. So sorry for that. I didn't read, I didn't see that I was using the wrong function. So yeah, the join function helps you you to join and string to all the items in a iterable to all the items in an iterable. So I don't know if this also works like in a dictionary. So let's something like places is equal to um, I don't know, maybe something like David is in the earth, um, Jim is in Mars, and uh, Cam is in Jupiter, and Pluto, and it's going to be David, and here, and Cam is going to be here. So let me see if this will work. So for each person in places, let's see if this is going to work like this. So the first thing that we want to do is to print its value. So I think because we're just iterating for each element in this, like David is in Mars, we're just going to print the value. So person, like places, first let's see what does this print. So yeah, so in this case, we would want to see the person and also the name. So for each separator, um, separator that join. I'm thinking about like which kind of format I want to print. Like if I'm David, I would just want to add thing like this. So I mean I think this is not that necessary for this example. We can just add something like person and like this and uh, places of person, and that will be it. So let me just see if this, yeah, we can basically do this. So if you're thinking about like what is going on, so don't worry about it. We're just trying to iterate through a dictionary. That basically a dictionary is a data structure that can help you to put a key and a value. So if you're thinking, what is the key? So a key is like, how can I explain to you? Like a key is a thing that identifies an element or like a variable. So for example, David can have any kind of value. The value can be another dictionary. The value can be a list or things like that. So each element in your dictionary is going to have a unique key and a unique value. So for example, David is in the Earth, Jim is going to be Mars, and Kim is going to be in Pluto. So David and Kim can have the same value. So the difference is just how you identify that person, right? So David cannot appear twice in this dictionary, it just can appear once. But for example, David and Ken can be in Pluto, or David and Ken can be in Mars, and Jim also can be in the air of Pluto, or everyone can be in Mars. So yeah, just the difference is the key. You can have a unique key for each element in your dictionary. So what we saying here is for each person that is in the places dictionary, you just print the name of the person and where he is, or where she or where the person is. All right. So so yeah. So where was I? Talked about join. Yeah. Sorry for that. Sorry for that. Yeah. So we're just we were trying to use join into the iterable. So let's see how does the separator will work into person. So let's see separator dot join and places. And let me just delete this and see how this will work. And let's see. Okay, so in this case, we have separator dot join places and I don't know if we can concatenate this, like concatenating, mm, I don't know, like our in separator that join um, places or that values, I think it was. Uh, I don't know. I cannot remember which was like the function that returns like iterates, well, gives you a list of all the values into of a dictionary. So how can I, uh, how was called the function that returns all the values of a dictionary in a list? Yeah, it's values. Right, so uh, let's just return here and say places that values, or no, it was values and it's set of values. Uh-huh, which, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so yeah, it is values, but we use a function inside it. Let's put the commas here, so we can just separate the strings from the values. So yeah, I think this should work. David, Jim, and Ken are in Earth, Mars, and Pluto. So yeah, now with this, we have used like join for try to separate each one of our members of the crew, of the space crew into uh, each one of these, right? So I think we have covered all the functions. Let me see if I'm forgetting. Yeah, we have some functions that we have not see. Um, the string is alpha is for just detecting uh, if any of the characters in the string or the color, like all the characters in the string are alphabetic. So it would return a true or false, whatever all the characters are analphabetic. If it is a digit, we will see if all the characters in the string are digits. It's alnum is basically if it is an alphabetic or if it's a number. Basically, it's alphanumeric, like all your keyboard. It's lower is basically it helps you to know if the all the characters in the string are in lowercase. Its upper helps you to understand, or like it returns as true or false if all the characters in the string are in upper. All right, so I think for now that will be all the string manipulation that we can see now. Um, there are a lot of examples that you can search on the internet about how to use string manipulation, but for now I think that will be it. And I think someone asked about the um, git ignore. So yeah, at the start of the stream, someone asked about the git ignore. So like you see in Python, if you create a virtual environment, you're going to have a lot of files that have been created in your virtual environment, and we don't want to add all those files onto our git commit. So for not adding all this stuff into our git commit, we just can create a git ignore and select the folder we want to ignore. So I think for me will be my amp. And I don't know if I had to add a point at my amp. And I think it would work like this. I don't know if I need to just add like, uh, mm, yeah, so yeah, I think now it's working. So like I said, for creating a git ignore, you just need to create a new file, select create a new file, and name it like .git ignore. And for ignoring one file or for ignoring anything like that, for ignoring a folder, you just need to add like a slash and the folder you want to ignore. Maybe you don't want to ignore this folder. If you want to ignore the folder, you can just select the or like add the route of the folder you want to ignore. But if not, you can just add the my amp folder if you want to ignore a file, you can just add the name, like type a point, and after the point or after the dot, you can name the files you want to ignore, right? Like readme dot md, and that will be it. Or maybe you want to ignore your Python file, so maybe you can just add main.py, and that will be all of it, I think. And yeah, or no, yeah, I think it is just like a point or like the name of your file that you want to ignore. I don't know if it was like, yeah, yeah, no, actually it was without a point. Yeah, it's just the name of your file. It's just the name of the file you want to ignore. Uh, so I don't know if you make it on your folder like this, like files. If we put this here, yeah, let's just move it and add something like this. Files that mean that pi. Yeah, you can see that now we're ignoring the files mean that pi element. All right. So yeah, I think that would be it for the git ignore. Let's just revert this, create the main.py here, and let's just uh, delete this folder. So yeah, and another cool thing about the GitHub code spaces is that you can manage all your Git commitments, all your like creating a push, pulling commits from GitHub or anything like that without having to type anything in your console. You have the Git extension, like the um, like you can do anything of GitHub or like Git anything here. You can stage things with just this button. Like if you want to stage all your changes, you can stage them. You can create a commit like initial creation, like maybe we now have studies about string manipulation, and you can create your commit. And after creating your commit, you can synchronize your changes, making a push to origin into your repository, and just need to click into accept. And after accepting, everything will be on. So if we refresh now, if we go to GitHub and refresh everything, now you'll be able to see that your changes have been done. All right, so the change has been string manipulation. We made the commit, and you can see all the changes that we made, right? So we create the git ignore, and also we create the main.py file. So yeah, yeah. So pip freeze requirements is pretty useful to make sure everyone has all required add-ons to run your program. That is true. We use that virtual environment for that. Um, all the libraries and all the things that you want to manage into your project or anything like that will be added into your virtual environment. But if you don't have like requirements.txt file that I forgot to add it, thank you for that. But I think we didn't add any kind of library. Oh well, we actually did because we're using GitHub Code Spaces. So yeah, let's do that. But yeah, if you are working with other persons, if you're going to create an open source application or anything like that, you can use it. So Oscar Oscar says that there's a useful Viscose extension called gitignore that uses this repo to ignore some common elements for each programming language. Yes, yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Oscar. Hi Deva, hi everyone. So yeah, so for the person that says to me or explains to me which function, let me think, because I have a GitHub code t-shirt that I can just shuffle between you, like can make a giveaway with you. But let me think about which question I want to create. For the person that responds, which one is the function? Like if I want to separate from from a list. Mm, I don't know. Maybe if I have, let me just read this comment that says, how do you commit so you can push the code to GitHub again? Okay, yeah. So, so first, let me think about the question I want to use. So for the person that says to me, the number of domains I get with the GitHub Student Developer Pack, is going to win one code of GitHub T-shirt. So let's go. How many domains I have by signing up with the GitHub Student Developer Pack? There are more than 2, I think. So just type it into the comments, and the first person who answers this is going to have a GitHub T-shirt for free, I think. And let me just blah 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 blah. Right. So while someone is typing that, let's start and see what the pip freeze is. So like we're seeing now we're on my AMP account, like my environment, my virtual environment. So we're seeing that we're on my virtual environment by seeing this thing that says my AMP. So let's see first how many libraries we have installed. So pip list, I think it was called. Yeah, so we don't have, I think we don't have a lot of things here. Or it was called pip L. No, how can I see the list of my packages installed? How can I see the list of the packages installed in pip? So let me see how it was called. Oh yeah, it was pip list, and I don't have anything else. So I think it basically is not, we don't have anything installed because everything is into the code space, but not into my pip. So no, by domains I meant like domains for my web page, like for example, I don't know, name.com or Namecheap or things like that, you know. I think there are more than 2 domains, like let me just share this again. Like we have Namecheap, we have name.com, but I think we have more domains down here. So as you see, you have one tier domain name registration on the .me. So domains, you have domains, Google Workspace, WordPress, DigitalOcean hosting, and more. So you have a free .live domain, and you have an SSL certificate. You also have a SSL certificate with this. So it is a benefit. So just type the amount of domains that you have with the Student Developer Pack. So yeah, like we were seeing that we don't have any package installed, just the setup tools. But yeah, let's just create the pip freeze, and let me put this here. I mean, I think I don't even have to put the requirements to create the requirements file. I think it creates automatically. Require.txt. And yeah, now we're done. But yeah, as you see, we didn't have any kind of requirements, but we already created, so it is cool. For the future, it is cool. So let's just commit this again. Someone said how to commit and push into into our repository in GitHub. So you just need to go into your code space, go into the source control extension, just stage all your changes. If you have a lot of changes, just use this button here. But if you want to add individual changes, you can just select the files that you want to stage it here, create a message, a commit message, like, I don't know, requirements created, and just confirm. And after that, you'll see something like sync changes or anything like that. So just click it, accept it, and you're ready. And if you go to your GitHub account, you go to, I mean, if you go to your repository, you'll see that the changes have been synchronized right now. So yeah, with that, you have already committed into your GitHub repository, just like 3 clicks. So that's awesome. That's a really cool thing about uh, GitHub Codespaces. So yeah, like I said, if you go to your GitHub repository, the changes will be created, and you'll see the changes into your repository. You can see your commits, and you can see that you have already created your requirements.txt file. So what do you think if we take a break of 5 minutes until I take a little bit of water, and I'll be back in just 2 minutes. Awesome. So I'm back, and we can now continue learning some awesome things about Python scripting. So one of the cool things that you can do with Python is to access some random files that you can use like you can use in the work and anything like that. When I was a fellow, I had a fellow into the analyst fellowship and the Meta, and the I think it was the last summer in Meta. We learned how to use Python for scripting and how to use Python for real cases like this one that has like some transactions and like the kind of operation that it was made in that transaction, from which IP it was made, and things like that, you know? So like you can see, we have our Python, like our file with a lot of things. Like we have our IP, we have our date, we have our message that we were using, and also like if the state of the operation, and also like what? Like to be honest, I don't know what this is. I think it was like the time of like the time that it took to create the operation. I think this is 4 milliseconds or anything like that. Uh, to be honest, I don't quite remember. But yeah, we can access into files. For accessing into this file, like how we can use this in our Python project, we can access it uh, really quick. We can use a function called I don't know, like file is equals, or like f is equal to open Apache access dot, and we have some kind of operation we can have. We can open it like in a read way, in a read mode, in a write mode, or in uh, both ways. To be honest, I don't quite remember, but let's go with the classic ChatGPT. So let's ask it, how can I open a file in Python? And with this, like I said, we have like our file. File is going to be equal to the file name, and the mode we want to operate that file, like how we want to open it. We can open it in a read mode that is going to be equal to R, in a write mode that is going to be equal to W, and append mode where we want to append some things to the file, write data, not like write data into the file. It creates a new file if it doesn't exist. It would like if we use a file that already has text into it and to a write mode, it will restart from 0, and we will be writing from the start. Append mode, if you have already built file, it will start from the index that you want to select into the creation mode. It will create a new file and open it for writing, which is an error if the file already exists. In the binary mode, we will open the file into binary mode. It's for non-text files, like if you're opening an image or anything like that into binary, you can use it. And into text mode, it will just you can use it for just text files, you know. And yeah, for reading that content, you can use the function file.read and print that, or you can iterate for each element into the file and write it. So with open example.txt.r as file, we can just read the file and print it in a really easy way. So with this, now let's go to our file here, and let's open it in read mode. So let's say content is going to be equal to file.read, and let's print the content. And with this, I think it will be really easy to, oh, sorry for that, to use our section. And as you can see, we have our content here. So a good example there for this is that we already done this. So if we want to read for each, like operate for each line, or just operate to the last line or things like that, we can use some things in Python. So for example, if we want to just print all the IPs, the cool way to do this will be to just use some string manipulation functions that we already learned and use them here. So for this, we will we will just want to do something like, I don't know, maybe go and ask ChatGPT, like, how can I think it was, I think it was, there was a function that iterate for each line. So how can I iterate by each line in the file? So for each line in file, print the line. All right. So no, I think there was another function, but I don't quite remember which one it was. All right. So for each line in file, it would be. So for each line in file. So for each line, so let's see, for each line in file, let's do a separator. So line that split, and we will want to split into a white space. So for each line, and forget to print it. And with this, I think that would be it. No. For each line in file, the read, with print the line. Print the line. Oh yeah. Please. With open, yeah, I totally forgot about that. So it would be something like with open this file. Now I think this doesn't matter. It will be like the way we were doing it. To be honest, I don't know. As file, we'll say something like for line in file, print line, and let's see what this does. So yeah, we print each line. So line that split, like I want to just split all the elements in our array that can help us to separate the elements. So with this, yeah, we already have the first element. So if I want to just separate each line or anything like that, if I want to obtain all the IPs, I know that all the IPs will be the first element. So if I want to obtain all the IPs, or like just print all the IPs that I've used into the file, I will want to use something like, I don't know, like line split of 0, I think it was. So yeah, now we have accessed all the IPs of our big text file that we had. So if you're managing a server or anything like that, or yeah, I totally forget that I was not sharing the script. Where do we get the big file? Sorry for that. Screen still, yeah, sorry for that. Where do we get the big file? If you want, I can share with you the big file in the Discord. So let me just go into the Discord and share it into the security week. Let me see if I can share files. I don't know if I can, but if not, let me put this here. So, hi hackers, I'll drop the Apache file here. And now you have access to the file into your into the security week channel. And now everything should be done. Let me know if you can access to the file or if you want to have access to everything. So So yeah, with this, now you have access to everything. And let's just run down into what we did. So we first open our file in a read mode. So we opened our file as file, and we iterated for iterated through all our file, but we iterated for each line. So for each line in our file, we're separated each element of our splitted line into like this array and well this list. And with this list, we access to the first element because if we're at like our Apache file, we know that the first element is always going to be our IP, and the separator that is going to be always the separator of the IPs is going to be the white space that is that always appears here. So yeah, an easy way to do this is just use the split function that we learned in the last hour, and to access to the first element, we will need to do this. If you wanted to do it in a linear way, we can say like element is going to be equal to line data split. And the white space here and just say something like print, I don't know, maybe IP is equal to elements that, I mean, elements, the first index of our array, and then just print the IP. Print IP. And now we'll be able to, now we should be able to, yeah, do the same thing. And yeah, so we first split all the elements of our, like, all the elements of the text of our line into an array, and the first element of our array is always going to be the first thing here, elements, and we can have our IP already, and we can print it. But maybe we want to do some other things like, hey, I don't want the IP, I just want the date of the transaction and hour. So I want you to do that, or maybe I want you to join things here, or I want you to return the, I want you to put into uppercase or into lowercase all the letters of this, because we can have this into our database or anything like that. Or I just want you to pass to me the status of the transaction or anything like that. Maybe we can do something like separate each of the elements of each line here. Like, hey, the first element is with IP, the second element is a transaction timestamp. The third element is the, I mean, the third element can be the what? The function, like no, the HTTP petition, and the second can be the route and things like that, you know. We can go on and go on and go on. So let me know if you have anything. If you have any question, just ask it. If you want to write, if we want to write all the elements here, or like, I don't know, maybe a new transaction has been done. So for doing that, we will need to go here and just put something like open our file in an append mode. And after doing that, we will need to just write new transaction that has been done. So why do we do that? So the first thing that we want to do is to separate all of the elements. So like we said, the first element is the IP. The second element is going to be our timestamp. So the second element is going to be the timestamp. And this is equal to elements of, I think, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, no, 0, 1, 2. I think it's the second. And maybe we want to, maybe for this, we will want to do the, I think the function was called script. I don't know if we can use the strip for this, but can I use the strip let me ask ChatGPT. And can I use strip to print a string without an element that is not a white space? For example, if I have a string that says hello, how much can I use it for printing just hello? Yes, you can use the strip function to remove a specific character from the beginning on the end of the So, all right, so that would be it. Let's just use the strip for printing all our elements without it. So this will be elements2 dot strip. Let me show this and this will be this, and now we'll be able to just say this. And now we can access to the third element. For this, I think we need to do another split. So let's see this. So how can we name this? So I know this is the HTTP petition. This is the route, and this will be the HTTP version. So how can we name this? Like always, like HTTP repetition, maybe. HTTP petition or something like that. Like petition is going to be equal to elements of the zero element of elements dot split, and again for each white space. And now we can say that for petitions, the kind of petition is going to be equal to petition of 0, and then the route is going to be equal to I mean, even we can create a dictionary for making it a little bit more readable and not creating 10,000 of variables and things that, but for this, for just you like seeing the use of the functions, let's do it in this way. And again, we can use petition of 1, and the version is going to be equal to petition of 0, right? Of 2. And like I said, we can even use a dictionary for doing this, and just let's do that, right? Like we don't really want to mess up all of this. Like petition. So blah blah blah. For each line element is going to be equal to the element. It's going to be equal to or like how we can transaction, let's call it transaction. So let's put this here and this here like this. So now we have petition and we have transaction. So transaction is going to have the same thing. IP is going to be equal to element 0. And let me just put here and do the same thing. I think we can just do the same thing and do something like this. And even we can put transaction and bring like an object and all the stuff. And after doing that, we can even use it like make it a class or something like that, So we can see also objects in Python, because we can create objects in Python. That is a cool thing. So IP is going to be element of 0, timestamp is going to be element of 2, the strip, so we can see the timestamp. Kind of petition is going to be the petition 0, and petition, the route is going to be the first element of petition, the version is going to be and all right, so we already have this. So we're almost done. So now it's just the status, the petition status, or maybe just the status and the time. The status is going to be equal to element of, if this is the third, it's going to be the fourth one, and the time, completed time, is going to be the last element of 5. And luckily, this is going to work in some awesome way. So let's just try to print transaction offer. So yeah, let's just do print transaction that, let's see what this prints. So let's see if we have an error. Yes, we have. So elements of 0, in both syntax, we have for a comma. Am I doing something wrong? File IPs, elements of 0, transaction IP. Okay. Yes, this will be available as a video later, and don't worry about it. I think this is uploaded into the Twitch channel of the MLH, and also you can see it in YouTube. I think it's also saved into our YouTube, the YouTube account of the MLH. So I don't know if this is, no, this is wrong, right? Like, yeah. What am I doing wrong? So let me see here, like, oh yeah, totally. Forget to add this. Sort of forget that I can do this here. And maybe with this, everything would be it. Yeah, no, I'm still having the error. So, oh yeah, so I totally forget the comma. No. Yeah, sorry for that. I totally forget to attack the comma. And position of 1. Position of 1, blah, blah. Okay, so let me see here. Let me comment this. For comment this will be this, and just Control K C, and let me see petition. But also let me just comment this so I can see how petition is printed. Let me see first if this is correct, because I think I'm printing the wrong petition. And yeah, so we have first 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. All right, it was 4. Petition is actually 4, the element of 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so times is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3. This is going to be 3, and petition is going to be 4, and I think now everything should be on. And print transaction, and just let me uncomment this. So after doing this, and I forget again to add a comma. Sorry for that. And petition of 1. I think I'm also not seeing what is going on here. Petition, print petition, maybe. Let me see what I'm printing. Petition. Oh, I got it. Yeah, because it has a what? Yeah, totally. Okay, so all right. So let's just change the 5. And after this, we'll be able to do it, right? Right? And let me, what I want to print. Oh yeah, it is the link. Yeah, because we have, yeah, totally forget about that. So I totally forget about it. Yeah. So what is going on here is that we have a lot of white spaces that I didn't see in the elements line. So yeah, all these white spaces. So we have the yeah, I totally forget about the comma. So we already had it like, yeah, my bad. So sorry for that. We don't actually need this. Uh, so we can just uncomment this because we already have it separated. So instead of doing this, instead of adding this thing, we can add the timestamp and the strip this, and we can use join, I think. No, we can just I'm thinking of if we can just join this, like join. Yeah, I was thinking of how we could be able to join this element with this element. And because we are working on a iterable, I think we can just join it into like, without anything. Like the separator will be this thing dot join element strip and comma and element 4, I think. And luckily this will work. Let me first see if this works separately, so we can see if this will join the 2 elements. So let me again just debug this, comment this, Ctrl KC, print, no, this was not that one. Let's see. So I got you now. So the join elements, comma element, Let me see if this works because I'm not sure about this. Takes exactly 1 argument. And I think, well, for this would be something like this. And like this. Let me see if this works. Yeah, now it works. Awesome. So it works. And now we were able to join them, basically because it takes just 1 argument. We passed 2 elements that were the timestamp plus I think this is the time zone. I'm not sure if this is a time zone or anything like that. Well, we were able to join them. So now that we were able to join them, we would just want to copy and paste this here, and now we have the timestamp. So yay. So the kind of petition is the number 5, if I'm not wrong. The route is going to be the number 6. Version is going to be the number 7, 8, and 9. So let's see if transaction works. Please work. So transaction and no. All right, sorry for that. It's elements. I totally forgot to add elements here. So elements elements again. Yeah, so I think now it works. It appears like an object, and we have obtained all the information that we need, right? So we have the IP, the timestamp, the kind of petition it was made, the route, the auth version. Also, we have the version, the status, completed time, and that will be it. We have everything. Yay! So now you can use this and put it into a JSON or pass this to, I don't know, maybe use it in MongoDB. That is a non-SQL database. You can use it in Firebase, wherever you want to, and you can add it into whatever you want. So, hi Maria. I'm from Mexico, actually. I'm from a place in Mexico called Monterrey. Monterrey is it's a city in the north of Mexico. You can see it. Let me share my screen. So let's just make a pause to share about Monterrey. So this is Monterrey. This is the city. We're surrounded by a lot of mountains. We have like 5 or 6 mountains, or the most classic mountain that Monterrey has, or the iconic mountain, is called El Cerro de la Silla. It is basically in a form of horse chair, I think it's called. Horse chair. Yeah, it's like the form of this thing. I don't know how this is called. Saddle chair. Horse chair. Yeah, it has like this form, but I don't know how this is called. Horse shadow, I think. Horse shadow. Saddle. Yeah, it has this form. Our mountain has the form of a saddle of a horse. So yeah, it is really cool. So basically, this is like in Spanish this is a silla de caballo, but as you can see, it has like almost the same form as like our mountain has the same kind of form like that horse saddle. So yeah, we have a lot of barbecue here. We like a lot of football and all this stuff, you know. So if you ever come to Mexico, just send, and if you come to Monterrey, just send a message and we can go out. So yeah, this is Monterrey, but I'm not from Monterrey. I'm from another part of Mexico, from the coast. It's called Veracruz. So the place where I'm from is called Veracruz. I live in Monterrey, but I'm from this zone in Mexico called Veracruz, and this is like a beach, and we have a lot of fish and mariscos, and you know, all of good stuff. It is real hot. It is real hot in Veracruz. There is something called Carnaval that Veracruz has. That is something like Brazil. So we do carnavales. We eat a lot of fish, a lot of cool food. It's in Veracruz, like antojitos, like chinita, tacos, things like that. If you like Mexican food, Veracruz is the perfect place where you can learn a lot of Mexican food. Like, let me think, cochinita pibil, or maybe some antojitos mexicanos. Veracruz has one of the best antojitos mexicanos you can eat. So if you like Mexican food, Veracruz is a cool place to eat a lot of antojitos. If you want to try gorditas, memelas, empanadas, panuchos, pellizcadas, picaditas, like tamales and all this stuff. Like Veracruz has all this kind of food. That, like, for example, Monterrey doesn't have this kind of food because we're in the north, and the north doesn't have like this variety of gastronomy. But Veracruz has it. Like a lot of the southeast of Mexico has a lot of food that you can eat, and most of it is like really tasty. I encourage you to try all of our food. Please go to a Mexican restaurant, and if you see something like that says antojitos, try them, please. And ask to the restaurant if they sell antojitos mexicanos. So please try them. They're so tasty. Cito Manicito. Uy, justo esto es en la uni. Hey, Cito. So you are also from Monterrey. Awesome. So are you studying in the University of Nuevo León, or where do you study? Do you study in Tec de Monterrey, Autónoma de Nuevo León, something like that? So yeah, let's continue. Sorry for that. But yeah, you learned something about the Mexican food. Yeah. So we already have separated all of our elements into our all the elements of our line into something like this, and we can now use this and put it into Firebase. Well, I mean, it has something like this that we still need to clean. So let me just, I think the script and what to do will be, uh, I don't know if this is like this. Ooh, how can you strip this character? Let me ask ChatGPT about it. How can I use the strip function to strip the character? Uh, all right, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, sorry for that. So yeah, we can use it to strip this character, and now be able to do it. And for the completed time, we will be able to do it also, but I don't know if you need to do something like dot script, dot script, and just uh, like this. And let me see if this works because I'm not sure. It actually works. Yay. So yeah, now everything is clean. Now everything is done. Let's commit this again. Maybe we don't want to commit our Apache file. So for just ignoring that into our commits, we can just put the name of the file that is called Apache access.pib, and now it is ignored. And we actually updated the git ignore, so we even can ignore the .git ignore, so we can .pib and git ignore, so we don't have to put it into our files. So with that, I think we need to put the point that git ignore, right? Ooh. Oh my god, my how can I ignore? Well, forget about it. Let's just add it because I think we already added. So yeah, we updated the git ignore and we already ignored the Apache. So we upgraded on all the changes. So now we already learned how to manipulate files. We just learned how to read. So learn how to read and manipulate files. So let's just stage all of our changes. And after staging all of our changes, let's just do add a message to our commit and commit it. And let's just synchronize all of our changes, accept, go into our repository, go into code. And yeah, so we can see that we already have our changes done. So we changed our git ignore file and the main.py file. So we're almost done. So let's just see how we can write files, all right? So let's just open a new file and let me just comment this because I think we don't need to do this right now, but for the future, we'll use it. So we already commented this. So let's just do something like file is going to be equal to open or a new file. This is going to be, I don't know, like numbers.txt. and we are going to open it in write. So yeah, so for, oh well, I think we can use it. We can like read as file. We can just use it to talk to the, like to write something like for um each number in range and 10. We can just add each number to our file. And for adding that number into our file, let's ask ChatGPT how to write into file. How can I write all the numbers from 0 to 10 into a file called new file called numbers in Python? Let me share the screen here and let's see what this Python says. Follow the right. All right. So this looks easy. Let's just copy this and paste. And yeah, so for each number in range, follow the right and it's our number. And yeah, and this. So let's see if the file is done. So I think it was done. Numbers. And we can see that we already have created like we write into our new file like all this, like we just change the range to 11 because we know that well, if you don't know, Python uses this function called range where you can say when do you want to start to when you want to end. But in Python, we end one number before the one you say you want to reach. Like for example, if you want to reach to the number 50, you have to type 16 because Python, like I said, just contains one number before. So yeah, we just open our file again as in our write mode, like differentiating from the last time we opened it in the read mode, and now we are opening in the write mode. So we write now from like we're opening our file in just a write mode, and like I said, we're going to write from the start a new file, and maybe maybe this example can help. As you see, we are going to start from 0 to 10. So if we start now, we're going to reach everything again from 0 to 50. So now everything is going to be written again. So as you can see, we are going to write from 15. But if I say something like, I want you to start from 10 to 16, now we can see that the number of elements into our, or the number of lines into our file are going to be written from the start. So everything is going to be written again. But if we want to open this, we can, instead of adding this, if we want to append just the number from 15 to 21 to 20, we can open our file into an append mode and add it from 60 to 21. And now everything should be open. And yeah, so as you can see, the file's not like it is not reading from the start. So we like as you can see, first we started writing the numbers from 10 to 15, but now we have the numbers from 60 to 20. So it was not deleted and started again and read it from 16 to 20. So it was just appends. So yeah, that is like the big difference between those two. And I think for now, this will be all the things that you need to know, like how to read, how to write, and how to append into an file. So yeah, from now on, I don't know if you, um, I'm still in GPT. So, oh, sorry for that. I thought I was on GPT. Sorry, so sorry for that. Oh yeah. All right, all right. Yeah, yeah. So, I forget about creating this And let me quit the spawner. And so, all right. So let's see from the start what have we learned. So let me share the screen. We have learned what Python was. We have learned about the Python fundamentals, the string manipulation, and how to handle files in Python. So yeah, like we said, Python is a high-level integrated programming language that has gained popularity due to its simplicity and versatility. Its syntax is easy to read and write, making it an excellent choice for beginners and professionals alike. So Python is really used like in data science, in production engineering, in DevOps, however you want to name it. Python features dynamic typing, garbage collection, and automatic memory management. So it is real cool. Like you see, um, you don't need anything like real special. The syntax is so simple. It's like you're writing protocol or like you're writing to like you're talking to other person and how to do things. And we also see like how to manipulate strings, like how to manipulate a string to get important information from that string, how to manipulate the strings to separate things or to join things or things like that, you know? And we also see like how to handle files, how to open a file, how to um, write a file, how to open information into a new file, and it is good. So if you come from Java, from C++, or anything like that, it has you can see Python is really simple to use. It is really easy to use. So from now on, I think the thing that we would want to use or we want to learn is have an introduction to hashing. So basically, hashing is a technique that is used to convert data of arbitrary types into fixed size outputs. It is commonly used in computer science and cybersecurity for storing and retrieving data quickly and securely. In hashing, a hash function is applied to the input data, which generates a unique hash value or digit. This hash value can then be used to verify the integrity of the data or to compare with other data without revealing its actual content. So basically, it means that if you have a string like this, and this is like real valuable data for you, and you don't want to your data to be exposed to all the public, maybe you want to hash all your data, right? To maybe something like hash it or encode it into a new thing like a base64 data. So maybe you want to hash it in a way that is not explainable to all the people that's around the internet. So maybe you will want to do something like this, like some weird data that is just hexadecimal or into a base 64, base 32 or things like that that can help you. Um, Actually, that is I think that can help you to that. But there is a big difference between hashing and encrypting. So encryption is like converting plain text into the ciphertext, like the base 62 or the base 34 that I just explained to you. And hashing will be like the power to convert that data into a fixed size, you know, like try to fix the size of your data that you want. And there are a lot of techniques in hashing, but let's go for encryption just to have a little bit of more context. So encryption is the process where you convert plain text into ciphertext, which is unintelligible to authorized parties. It is a crucial aspect of data security and is used to protect sensitive information from being intercepted or stolen. There are different types of encryption algorithms, such as symmetric key encryption, full key encryption. Each algorithm has is its strength and weakness, and choosing the right one depends on the specific use case. So don't worry about it. And lastly, we can use some Python libraries that come or that have been built in Python, like SHA, SH2 to 256, and D5. To hash information in Python, you just first need to convert the data into bytes and then apply the hash function using the appropriate library and algorithm. It also has an important flow of best practices, such as solving and iterating to the hash function to enhance the security of the hash and things like that. So hashing and encrypting are so different, but unfortunately we don't have time enough to explain that a little bit more. Maybe right now because of the time I didn't have all the information to explain to you like the differentiation needed to know how to encrypt your data, how to hash it, and things like that. So we're going to see it on the next session. That is on. Oh, let me see. Well, it's actually tomorrow. Tomorrow at the same time. It's at the same hours. For me, it's 9 p.m. Um, uh, all right, yeah. So it's again, it's at 11 p.m. I think the time hour is ET. Yeah, so it is 11 p.m. ET, so don't worry about it. Tomorrow we have another session where we can explain things a little bit more faster and more detailed. So if you're talking like Kendall says, a question has a question about um, which one is this page to make the presentation. It is called Tom.app. I will share with you this. No, it is called Tom.app, and let me share with you. Mm-mm-mm. It's called Tom.app, and I'll just type into the chat so you can access it whenever you want. And yeah, it basically creates a quick presentation with the information that you need of any kind of topics that you want. So it is real cool. So if you want to use it for your school, for your history class or anything like that, use it. I just use it for this kind of class or kind of session. So if I use it, you can use it. So yeah, don't worry about it. And yeah, so I think we have reached already the time for this. So thank you for being here. I hope you have a real nice Global Hack Week. Don't forget to register. Go to your Global Hack Week announcements and register to have those points that you need for the the session. So yeah, I think that will be it. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next session. Bye.